Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're cutting through the massive hype surrounding the two biggest buzzwords in the business world right now. We're going to break down the great tech showdown, standard automation versus true artificial intelligence. We hear these terms tossed around interchangeably all the time, right? But honestly, understanding the fundamental differences between them is the absolute key to scaling your productivity and, frankly, future-proofing your career.
So let me ask you a quick question. In your day-to-day work, are you a cook or are you a head chef? Think about it. A cook basically just follows rigid recipes. They execute step-by-step instructions perfectly, even if it means burning the toast because, well, the timer said 5 minutes. But a head chef? A head chef orchestrates a whole kitchen of experts, steps in when things go off the rails, and actually designs the menu. Keep this analogy in the back of your mind, because by the end of this explainer, you'll see exactly why transitioning from cook to head chef is absolutely crucial to surviving this whole AI revolution.
Okay, let's dive into this with a quote from a tech CEO that recently went completely viral with like over 50 million views. He wrote, "I told AI what I wanted, walked away for 4 hours, came back, the work was done better than me." Now that statement is terrifying to some folks, but incredibly empowering to others. It perfectly captures why grasping this technology is literally critical right now. You can either get replaced by this massive wave of efficiency, or you can be the one orchestrating it. But to understand where we're headed, we've got to understand where we've been. So let's strip away the jargon.
Section 1. Standard Automation Explained.
So what is standard automation? Simply put, it's getting machines to follow predefined rules perfectly. As the experts over at LeapWork describe it, it's just, if I say A, the robot does B. We humans define the rigid rules, and the machine just executes them with absolutely zero deviation. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it just does exactly what you told it to do at lightning speed.
Let's look at a really basic deterministic workflow. Step 1 is your trigger, like an email hitting your inbox. Step 2 is the action, like saving that email's attachment straight to a spreadsheet. It relies entirely on a strict, predetermined path. If an email comes in with no attachment, well, the system freezes up. It doesn't know what to do unless you explicitly programmed a rule for that exact scenario. There is absolutely no independent thinking happening here. And look, that rigid structure was a total game changer 10 years ago, but today, it's just not enough.
Which brings us to Section 2, How AI Changes Everything.
Now, what's really interesting here is that true artificial intelligence isn't just about following rules. It simulates human cognitive functions. It's capable of reasoning, learning, and adapting on the fly. It introduces dynamic abilities like natural language processing. So instead of just hunting for a specific hard-coded keyword in an email, AI can actually read the message, understand that the sender is super frustrated, and formulate a custom, empathetic response.
To really ground this complex tech, think about it this way. Standard automation is a rigid machine. It's like a toaster. It only does one specific thing. Try to put soup in a toaster and, well, you're going to have a really bad time. True AI, on the other hand, is a lot more like a dog learning new commands based on patterns. Now, it lacks general human awareness, so don't worry, it's not going to suddenly take over the world like in a sci-fi movie, but it learns from data rather than just taking direct, hard-coded orders. It observes, it adapts, and it executes based on context. So we've got the rigid machine and the pattern-learning dog. Let's put them head-to-head.
Section 3. The Showdown. Automation versus AI. And this brilliantly illustrates the core differences we're talking about today. The contrast is pretty stark. Automation is rule-based, deterministic, and static. It absolutely requires exact inputs. AI, though, it's learning-based, probabilistic, and dynamic. It actually adapts to unknown variables. Basically, automation is going to give you the exact same result every single time, whereas AI gives you the most probable, intelligent result based on the specific context of that exact moment. When we look at their core purposes side by side, automation is totally perfect for high-speed, repetitive tasks. Think about moving data from one database to another 1,000 times a minute. But AI's core purpose is to mimic human decision-making. When you need to interpret the sentiment of a customer complaint and then decide if they need a full refund or just a polite apology, that's where you need the broad, context-aware scope of true AI.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, Combining Forces into Agentic AI.
Take a look at this new middle step in our workflow. We still have a trigger, like an email, and an action, like drafting a reply. But sitting right there in the middle is the AI brain. This agent intercepts the trigger, consults a custom knowledge base, makes an autonomous decision on how urgent the email is, and then decides exactly which action to take. It acts as an intelligent orchestrator controlling the whole automated pipeline.
To see what this actually looks like in the real world, let's look at IBM. They built an HR bot using a technique called RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Simply put, the AI pulls from the company's actual internal database to answer questions. And it achieved an astonishing 94% containment rate. That means 94% of human resources questions were fully resolved by the AI agent without ever needing a human to step in. That is wild.
And that containment rate translated into a massive 75% reduction in HR support tickets across IBM's entire global organization. Let that sink in. This totally proves that agentic AI isn't just some shiny new toy or overblown internet hype. This is serious, enterprise-level operational scaling that is literally saving millions of dollars and countless hours of manual labor.
So the crucial point is that we cannot simply remove humans from the equation entirely. Take the Clara cautionary tale. A European fintech company decided to replace 700 customer support reps entirely with AI. And the result? Customers absolutely revolted. The empathy completely disappeared. People felt like they were talking to a brick wall. The company actually had to hire the humans back. AI agents work best when humans are there to orchestrate and oversee them. So, how can you practically apply these differences to protect your own career?
Section 5, your AI Readiness Roadmap. Industry expert Vaibhav Sisinti lays out this incredible 5-level roadmap for us. You start at Level 1, Foundations, which is really just learning how to talk to AI. Level 2 is Workflows, so connecting AI to your calendar and email. Level 3 is Creator, where you're generating images and video. Level 4 is Agent Builder, actually setting up those autonomous workers we just talked about. And finally, Level 5 is Vibe Coder, using plain English to generate entire apps and software without writing a single line of code.
Now, if you're stuck at Level 1, maybe feeling a bit frustrated and complaining that AI just doesn't work for you, you need the PRD method: problem, role, deliverable. Because vague inputs yield garbage outputs. So instead of saying something generic like, write my resume, you state the problem: I need to land a tech job. The role: act as an expert hiring manager. And the deliverable: give me 5 specific changes with examples. Boom! Specific input equals specific output. Once you actually know how to talk to the AI, you've got to connect it to your automation. The core tools for an orchestrator include platforms like Make.com and Zapier, web scraping tools like Firecrawl, and standard APIs. The best way to think about these APIs and automation platforms is that they are the digital plumbing of your business. The AI models, like Claude or ChatGPT, they're the intelligence flowing right through those pipes. Bringing it all back full circle to where we started today. The head chef doesn't do all the chopping and frying, right? Instead, they manage the API connections and the AI specialist tools, and they jump in to fix the workflows when they break. The single most valuable skill in business right now isn't doing the manual work. It's designing the systems to do the work and stepping in with human empathy and judgment exactly when the AI struggles.
I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. Do a quick audit of your own life and daily routines. What is the single biggest, most frustrating time-wasting task in your workflow right now? And based on everything we've covered today, does it require the rigid rules of standard automation or the dynamic, adaptable intelligence of true AI? Figure that out, and you are well on your way to becoming the head chef of your own career. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.